Jaxson Dart, quarterback out of Ole Miss, absolutely shined at the Senior Bowl. Exactly what I was expecting from the Ole Miss quarterback. If you guys are new to this channel here at Jets Media, I've been talking about Jaxson Dart here on this channel and on Twitter for months now. And I told you all that he is going to be a quarterback to watch rise up the draft boards, and that's exactly what happened at the Senior Bowl. I was actually there on behalf of Roundtable Sports, my first ever experience of being part of the media. I actually was able to ask Jaxson Dart a few questions. I watched him practice, and I want to give you guys my thoughts and my analysis of Jaxson Dart at the Senior Bowl. I'm excited to see what he does during the Senior Bowl game and, of course, the Combine, and I'm really curious to see if he's actually going to go in the first round, because there's a lot of people out there, not just me, so don't go after me, folks. There's a lot of people out there thinking that Jaxson Dart could be a first-round pick in the NFL draft. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's show. As always, we'll get into them in just a bit. Let's roll some clips from him at the Senior Bowl first and foremost, because I feel like you look at, these drills when you're watching Jaxson Dart at the Senior Bowl. These are all individual drills, and what I really look for in a quarterback in practice is his overall confidence, his fundamentals, his footwork, his ability to separate himself from other quarterbacks there. Now, Jaxson Dart started off a little slow. In day number 1, he wasn't super impressive, but day number 2, he got better, and then day number 3, he really unlocked his full potential, and he kind of found his rhythm and found his confidence. And that's really expected from all these prospects that you go to the Senior Bowl. You see everybody in day number 1, and everyone has the jitters. Everyone's like, all right, what should I expect? The Senior Bowl is kind of different. I'm with all these super talented college prospects, entering the NFL draft, but Jaxson Dart really went out there and separated himself with his arm, his velocity, his poise, his confidence in himself, and I really feel like this is going to be a prospect that a lot of NFL teams are going to want. I've heard the Raiders fan base really want him, some Jets fan base. I even know the Miami Dolphins have fans that want Jaxson Dart. I've been talking about Jaxson Dart for a long time, and I've had even our own Jets fans tell me that I don't know anything about ball, and I don't know anything about these quarterbacks, and Richie, why are you overhyping this kid out of Ole Miss? He's trash. And I'm like, watch him be the guy that everyone starts talking about when the draft process kicks off. And that's exactly what's happening right before our eyes. So I don't want to be the guy to tell you I told you so, but I'll be the guy. I told you so. Now, it's no guarantee, first of all, that Jaxson Dart's going to go to the NFL and be a baller, but I am really excited to see the full potential of him. Now, this is a question I actually asked him after day number 2 of the Senior Bowl practice. It was a simple question. I just want to know what he does before games to kind of get his mind right. What do you do the most to prepare your mind before games? Any pregame rituals that you do?
Yeah, meditation's been huge for me. Getting my mindset to neutral and being in the right state and just being where my feet are.
So that was a very simple question that I had there, but his answer was something I personally love. And then if you guys know me personally, I happen to meditate as well on a daily basis. I know the benefits of meditation, getting your mind right, staying present, and the fact that he practices meditation before his games, I absolutely love that about him, because that tells me that he's mentally prepared. And I'm also very consistent when I always talk about these quarterbacks, and you can really say this about every position in the NFL. I think the mentality and your mindset is key to everything, because you can be super physically gifted. You can have the arm. You can be athletic. You can have, all the mobility, all the intangibles to be a quarterback physically. But if you don't have it upstairs, all of the talent doesn't really matter. And I feel like Jaxson Dart's confidence in himself is something I really noticed. He has a lot of self-belief, and the fact that he can, practice that meditation before the games, I absolutely love that. Now, this isn't like nobody else meditates before games. A lot of prospects do that. A lot of NFL players do that. But I just thought that was really cool. That was my first question I ever asked Jaxson Dart, and it was cool to get that response over there on behalf of Roundtable Sports, of course. And Scott Kennedy got all these clips from the Senior Bowl that I'm showing you guys on the screen right now. And I feel like what separates him from the other quarterbacks, specifically at the Senior Bowl, Jalen Milroe was all over the place, the quarterback from Alabama. He looked good on the deep ball accuracy, but he had some interceptions over the middle. He was missing the easy throws. And he's someone that, Jalen Milroe talking about really good athleticism and mobility and could throw the ball deep. But outside of that, you can't really say anything good about Jalen Milroe personally. Like, I came away from the Senior Bowl thinking to myself, yes, this guy, Jaxson Dart, is the quarterback. Now, Dylan Gabriel out of Oregon, the southpaw, he looked good from the first portion of practices, but then he kind of took a little bit of a dive, in my opinion. Riley Leonard also looked solid. There were some quarterbacks that definitely stepped up, but there was no one throwing the darts like Jaxson Dart, in my opinion. And I feel like, you can't take too much out of just practice, right? I'm not going to say, oh, Jaxson Dart looked good in practice, so he's going to go in the first round. But I feel like the more he gets time interviewing with these NFL teams, the more we see him go to the combine. You see what he does at the pro day. I really think that Jaxson Dart is going to continue to rise up the draft boards when people see his intangibles. Now, you look at what he did at Ole Miss. I mean, he was third in the nation in passing yards. He's someone that is not afraid to stretch the field. He has all of the arm that you absolutely need to make it in the next level at the NFL, right? He can scramble to his left, throwing his run, throwing the run on the right, stay in the pocket. His footwork is sound. His athleticism and his mobility isn't elite. His escapability of like pressure coming in, he's able to do it. It's not like super tier. The one thing that definitely you have to make sure about Jaxson Dart's development is his decision making down the field, making sure you can read the field. But I feel like if you watch the tape, you see him able to progress through his reads and go through the progressions. I think that Jaxson Dart is a quarterback that if you're an NFL team, you'd want to draft him and have him develop for the long term. I don't know if he's going to be able to go out there in year number one like Jaden Daniels and light up the league, or even Bo Nix. I mean, if he goes through a proper situation with the right coaching staff and he starts in year number one, I'm not going to write off Jaxson Dart not playing well right away, but this is definitely a guy, as a Jets fan, I'd be on board for drafting. I don't know if I'm ready to say at number 7, but maybe trading back from 7 and drafting him, or maybe trading back up into the first round, or if he is there in the second round, I'd definitely take a flyer on him, because there's going to be a lot of prospects that the Jets are going to like at pick number 7. But I'm here to tell you guys, there's a lot of people thinking that Jaxson Dart could potentially go top 15. And I know right now that seems crazy. You turn on mock draft simulators, Jaxson Dart's like projected like 5th round. I think that's ridiculous personally. Like, I really like him as a prospect. I liked him for months, and now when I got to see him with my own eyes, he checked all the boxes that I thought I saw on tape at Ole Miss with my own very eyes. So I'm really excited about it. And I also want to make sure we give a big shout out to BetUS, the #1 online sportsbook, folks. If you guys want to go check out BetUS, they got a 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next 2 with promo code YouTube150. Start playing today with their exclusive offer. They got awesome Super Bowl prop bets on their website. So make sure you guys go take advantage of BetUS Sportsbook, #1 online betting source on the face of the planet. Now, my last thing I want to say about Jaxson Dart is I feel like you look at this quarterback draft class, it's not good. It really isn't. You got Cam Ward. I'm going to say he's going #1 to Tennessee. And then Sanders is this wild card where I don't really know where he's going to go yet. I think he's definitely probably going to go top 5. Maybe he can drop down. You never know. I feel like Jaxson Dart really made a name for himself to be the number 3 quarterback out of all these kids. But I will say this, there's scouts that I heard say that Jaxson Dart is their 2nd best quarterback on their list, on their board. That tells you all you need to know about Jaxson Dart as a prospect. So I'm not going to go out there and be like, yeah, he's going to go top 5 Jaxson Dart or even top 10 just yet. We got to let this process kind of breathe a little bit. But I told you guys months ago that Jaxson Dart is a quarterback to watch rise up the draft boards, and it's happening right before our very eyes. And I was very impressed with his ability at the Senior Bowl to get better and better as the days goes on. His progressions, his athleticism, his arm talent is off the charts. I would absolutely be on board of drafting Jaxson Dart as a Jets fan to sit behind Aaron Rodgers if he stays. If he doesn't stay, keep Tyrod Taylor or maybe bring in another quarterback. I think Jaxson Dart is a phenomenal prospect. And I also want to mention from a Jets fan perspective, I am a big fan still of Jordan Travis. I'm not saying we need Jaxson Dart because I don't like Jordan Travis, but Jordan Travis, to me, he is a big unknown, huge wild card coming off that huge injury. He had a setback. I'm not going to just go into this season with just Jordan Travis. I would rather have 2 young guys to compete for the long run in Jaxson Dart and, of course, Jordan Travis with the veteran. That's my dream scenario for the New York Jets from the quarterback perspective. You guys let me know your perspective down below in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video, and let's go Jets. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the show, and I'll see you guys in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. Peace out, folks.